Find a bench near you, any bench, a bus stop, a park, a train station. Now look at it closely. See the armrests in the middle? Those aren't for your comfort. They're not there so you can rest your arm. They're there so nobody can lie down. That bench was designed against a person, not for one. And once you see it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. The sloped seat that's uncomfortable after 10 minutes. The bumpy metal studs under a bridge. The spikes embedded in a ledge outside a shop. None of this is accidental. It's called hostile architecture, and it is exactly what it sounds like. Architecture that is hostile. Not to everyone, to specific people. People who might sit too long, people who might sleep there, people who have nowhere else to go. The city decided these people shouldn't be visible. And instead of solving the problem, instead of building shelters or providing support, they redesigned the furniture so the problem would move somewhere else. And you walk past it every single day without noticing, because it wasn't aimed at you. But hostile architecture is just the surface. Because the deeper truth is this: almost nothing about your city was designed for you. It was designed for cars, for commerce, for efficiency, for property values. You were an afterthought, and once you see the strings, every street, every intersection, every parking lot will look completely different. Let's go back to the moment your city was redesigned. Before the 1940s, streets belonged to everyone. Children played in them, people walked in them, vendors sold from them. The street was public space. Shared, chaotic, alive. Then the car arrived. And at first, cars shared the street with people. But the auto industry had a problem. Cars kept hitting pedestrians, and the public blamed the car. Newspapers ran campaigns calling cars killers. Cities considered banning them from downtown streets entirely. So the auto industry fought back. Not with better cars, with better language. In the 1920s, they invented a word: jaywalking. Jay was slang for a foolish person, a rube, a hick. By calling pedestrians jaywalkers, the industry reframed the story. The problem wasn't the car in the street, the problem was the person in the street. They literally created a word to shame you off a road that used to be yours, and it worked. Streets became car territory. Walking became a fringe activity. And cities were rebuilt around a single assumption: you will drive. After World War II, that assumption was poured into concrete. The Interstate Highway Act of 1956 carved highways through the middle of cities. Entire neighborhoods were demolished to make room for lanes of traffic. Parking lots spread. Suburbs sprawled. Homes, offices, and shops were separated by miles of road because a new idea, zoning, said they had to be. Single-use zoning, residential here, commercial there, industrial over there. It sounds rational, but look at what it actually means for your daily life. You can't walk to a grocery store because the grocery store isn't allowed to exist near your house. You can't walk your children to school because the school is across a 6-lane road with no crosswalk. You can't grab a coffee without getting in a car because the cafe's in a commercial zone 15 minutes away. The need for a car wasn't natural. It was zoned into law. And that law created a type of road that's become the dominant feature of most cities. It has a name, and the name is perfect. The stroad. It's not a street. A street is a place for people with shops and sidewalks and life happening at the edges. And it's not a road. A road is for moving cars quickly between 2 points with no distractions. A stroad is both and neither. It's too fast for pedestrians. Too many driveways and intersections for drivers. It's lined with parking lots and chain restaurants and strip malls, and it's ugly and dangerous, and it's probably the road you drove on this morning. Stroads are the single most common type of road in suburban and semi-urban areas. They kill more pedestrians than any other road type. And they're everywhere because they're cheap to build, and they serve the car-first assumption that nobody ever voted on. Now notice how you cross a street. You press a button, you wait. Sometimes for 2 or 3 minutes. The light changes. A countdown starts. You get 15, maybe 20 seconds to cross. Then the cars get green again. For 2, 3 minutes. Your time at the intersection is measured in seconds. The car's time is measured in minutes. The signal wasn't timed for your convenience. It was timed for traffic throughput. You are the interruption. And that button you pressed? In many cities, it doesn't even do anything. It's a placebo. The signal runs on a fixed cycle regardless of whether you pressed it. But the button makes you feel like you have agency in a system that already decided the car comes first. Now look at what fills the streets. A Starbucks, a Subway, a Zara, a McDonald's, same logos, same layouts, same fonts. In every city, in every country. Your city used to have a butcher, a baker, a bookshop that smelled like dust. They're gone, replaced by chains that can afford the rents. Rents that were driven up by car infrastructure and zoning that favors large commercial lots over small storefronts. The city didn't lose its character by accident. The character was priced out by a system that rewards scale over soul. And here's the thing that might bother you the most. Where do you go when you want to just exist? Not shop, not work, not exercise. Just be somewhere that isn't home, that isn't a store, that doesn't cost money to enter. A sociologist named Ray Oldenburg called these third places. Home is your first place. Work is your second. The third place is the cafe, the pub, the park bench, the town square, the place where community happens, where you bump into neighbors, where you sit without an agenda. Third places are disappearing. Town squares became parking lots. Parks lost their funding. Libraries cut their hours. The spaces that remain, malls, coffee shops, co-working spaces, are private. You have to buy something to stay, and if you don't, you'll be asked to leave. There is increasingly nowhere in your city to simply exist without paying for the privilege. The bench was redesigned to stop you lingering. The street was redesigned to move you along. The third place was replaced by a store, and the store was placed in a zone you can only reach by car. Every layer pushes you toward the same thing. Keep moving, keep driving, keep spending. That's the string. Your city doesn't feel hostile by accident. It feels hostile because it was optimized, not for your life, but for traffic flow, property values, and commercial throughput. You were never the priority. You were the pedestrian, but the string only works while you can't see it. So here's how to start pulling back. Walk. Actually walk. Not as exercise, as transportation. Pick one errand this week you'd normally drive to and walk instead. Notice what the city feels like on foot. Notice what's missing. Sidewalks, crossings, shade, benches you'd actually want to sit on. Look at every bench you pass this week. Really look. See the armrests. See the slope. See the spikes. Once you start noticing hostile architecture, you'll see it every single day for the rest of your life. Attend one local zoning or planning meeting. This sounds boring. It is boring. But that meeting is where the decisions are made that determine whether your neighborhood gets a park or a parking lot, a cycle lane or a lane of traffic, a cafe you can walk to or a drive-through you can't. The decisions that shape your city are made in rooms that are almost always empty. Showing up is one of the most powerful things you can do. Support local. The chain can survive without you. The bookshop probably can't. And the next time you're stuck at a crossing, waiting 2 minutes while cars stream past, to ask yourself, who decided my time is worth less? Because the answer isn't physics. It isn't logistics. It's a choice someone made decades ago, like about who the city belongs to. They decided it belongs to the car. But you can see the strings now.